Peace, blessings, greetings, welcome, much love to all those who serve the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Creator of all things. We're here at Deuteronomy chapter 28, the blessings for obedience. So, see, this is very important for you to pay attention to, because you see, the Spirit, the true Spirit, is telling you that He's going to bless you if you do what's right and you walk righteous. But if you don't, you get the curses. It's just that simple. It's what He created the evil for. It's what He allowed evil to revel and roam and wallow in its own piss and shit, is what it allowed to do. And then you guys made the terrible, terrible mistake of thinking that our ways is so much funner, and you forgot where you came from. So my job is to wake up all my brothers and sisters to the reality of this world that we live in, and help you to understand that this world is a virtual reality, okay? And it goes much deeper than that, just for me to say it. And in my lessons, I do share with you more intel about this reality. But I'm trying to get through a couple of chapters here today, because I've scoffed at not getting it any done. When you're in this walk of truth, you go through a lot of battling with entities, divinities, demons, devils, beasts, monsters, call them whatever you want, strangers. They're all the same thing, and they all look beautiful, and you call them angels, and they're not angels at all. What they really are is they're beasts. They're devils. We're here, Deuteronomy 28, blessings for the obedience. If you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow His commands I give you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. Again, the nations are the Gentile nations. Okay, it's important for you to understand something, okay? Jerusalem there, images of the United Nations. These are the ones that God is setting His children apart from, are the United Nations. You are above all of these nations, Israel. I mean, wow. I mean, and what you do is you spit in your Creator's face, and you hang out with their laws. You've gone into the laws of these hideous heathens. You've worshipped their idols. I could only understand how a spiritual Creator would kind of be a little bit pissed off to sit there and give praise to a frickin' stick or something carved out of metal, or a bull or anything like that. It's so mind-boggling. It's just literally, this is why people are called the Walking Dead. Blows me away. All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. So what's required in all this? You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the country. The fruits of your womb will be blessed. Your children will be blessed. And the crops of your land and your young of your livestock, the calves of your herds and all the lambs of your flock shall all be blessed. Your baskets and your kneading trough will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. The Lord will grant that the enemies who rise up against you will be defeated before you. Why are enemies rising up against the children of Israel now? If you're under His cloak, you're under His protection, why wouldn't He just keep them all away? Even though you're under His cloak and protection, and being underneath of His cloak and protection, are you, as this Bible says, then you've been led out of Israel, you've been led out of Egypt. Well, wouldn't the truth be said that the true chosen of children of the Supreme Spirit who were in slavery in Egypt were first led out from someplace else? Or did you guys just walk into the cities of the Egyptians and willingly bow down before their idols and place yourselves in this grievous position that your Creator is extremely ticked off at you about. And what's really maddening is the Gentile don't seem to think that if the Supreme Spirit of Truth did this to his own children, how you guys could possibly think when the time comes to pay the piper that you're getting away with it. You're going to pay a high price for what you've done to the children of the Supreme Spirit of Truth. Okay, the Lord will send a blessing on your barns and on everything you put your hand to. The Lord your God will bless you in the land he is giving you. The Lord will establish you as his holy people, as he promised you on oath. If you keep the commands of the Lord your God and walk in obedience to him, then all the people on the earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will fear you. The Lord will grant you abundant prosperity in the fruits of your womb, the young of your livestock, and the crops of your ground, in the land he swore to your ancestors to give you. Are you still there, Israel, in the land that he swore to give to you to this day? Put it down in the comment if you are. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in sessions and to bless all the works of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. The Lord will make you the head, not all the tail. Not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God that I give you this day and carefully follow them, you will also be at the top, never at the bottom. Do not turn aside from any of the commands I give you today, to the right or to the left, or you will get hit in your mouth. Follow other gods and serve them. You hear? Let me read that for you again. Do not turn aside from any of the commands I give you today, to the right or left, following other gods and serving them, or you will get hit in your mouth. Cursed for disobedience. However, if you do not obey the Lord your God and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come on you and overtake you. You will be cursed in the city and cursed in the country. Your basket and your kneading trough will be cursed. The fruits of your womb will be cursed, and the crops of your land, and the calves of your herds, and the lambs of your flocks. You will be cursed when you come in, and you will be cursed when you go out. The Lord will send on you curses, confusion, and rebuke in everything you put your hand to, until you are destroyed and come to a sudden ruin because of the evil you have done in forsaking him. Why him? Why not me? The Lord will plague you with the disease until he has destroyed you from the land you are entering to possess. The Lord will strike you with a wasting disease, with fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew, which will plague you until you perish. The sky over your head will be bronze, the ground beneath you iron. The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you have been destroyed. Look, it will come down from the skies. You know what that sounds like to me? The skies over your head will be bronze, the ground beneath you iron. The Lord will turn the rain of your country into dust and powder. I wish it was the middle of the night, because if you go out in the middle of the night and you turn a light on in the middle of the night, you can see all that shit dropping out of the sky that they poison in the chemtrails with their planes. And you people are so consumed in these devices in your cell phone, you don't even look up to the sky to see that you're being poisoned. And then when you try to warn people about what's going on, you have these agents, these beasts right here. Now, everybody stops in the court and they turn and they look at him. That's just the way it is. We live in a hive, folks, and it's controlled by a hive mind, a negative energy force that is capable of this kind of behavior with people anytime Satan can jump on you if you're not walking right and righteous with the Creator. That's what it's like. Okay? So these people, the minute you start screaming to the world that they're spraying us with poison out of the clouds in their military aircraft and stuff, and somebody like my boss, no matter how much I show him, no matter how much I prove to him, a lot of times he won't even look at the information. I'll be like, here, let me show. Well, look at the video, dude. Look, they don't want to look at the video. Why? Because they're agents for the system. We are being sprayed with poison, drinking poison, eating poison. The World Health Organization doesn't make money off of healthy patients. This world makes money off of ill patients. That's what they're doing. They're making us sicker. You don't think cancer can be caused from this over long periods of time of being sprayed with poison over our cities? Playing checkers on the freaking in the skies, and then you have the military men, the pilots of these aircrafts flying, spraying the shit, not questioning it, and you can't see that they're the fucking evil just as well. That's your military. You can't see that when it says this here, right here, all who sin apart from the law will perish apart from the law, and all who sin under the law, all who sin under the law will be judged by that law. So you will be judged. Now, those that are sinning apart from the law of the Gentile nations, here, Jeremiah 16:19 tells you here, O Lord, my strength and fortress and refuge in the day of distress, the nations right here are the Gentile nations. They are also a troop of animals, or a flight of locusts, military troops marching in ranks, images of military troops marching in ranks. Here you go, folks. These are your troops of animals. These are your demon dogs. These are murderers, they're rapists, they're killers, they're thieves, they're crooks, they're the worst of the worst. You understand that? I went into the military service. I was in, and I went in because I really didn't have anything, and that's the way it is. A lot of people from the streets, they don't want to be on the streets. They go in to get that training in the military, to get that discipline, but it's not discipline, folks. All this shit here is straight up indoctrination. Hoorah, kill, hoorah, I'm a murderer, I'm a killer, I'm a devil dog. That's what you are. You're a fucking devil dog. You're absolutely right. So when it talks about the nations, it's talking about the Gentile, and Gentile are Gen-tiled in flesh. That's real talk for you right there. You will be pledged to be married to a woman, but another will take her and rape her. You will build a house, but you will not live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but you will not even begin to enjoy its fruits. Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will eat none of it. Your donkey will be forcibly taken from you and will not be returned. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and no one will rescue them. Your sons and daughters will be given to another nation, and you will wear out your eyes watching for them day after day, powerless to lift a hand. A people that you do not know will eat what your land and your labor produce, and you will have nothing but cruel oppression all your days. Folks, I would probably have to say, since I was born into this plane of existence, that the 61 years of my life have, you've always been under the oppression. In my life, when has Israel not been under oppression? In my grandparents' life, my mother would say the same thing. When have you not been under oppression? When has Israel not been under the sword? You've always been under the sword. You've always been underneath the sword of Esau. Jacob never once, as the Bible says, bowed down to his brother Esau. Jacob was the one that bowed down to his brother Esau. Jacob was the one that gifted his brother Esau. Jacob was the one that was worried about his life being destroyed by Esau. Jacob was the one that was worried when he came to meet with his brother. So the Bible plainly said that Jacob will rule. Well, please show me, when has Jacob been ruling? Because what I'm saying is, if Jacob is ruling, then Jacob is ruling behind the scenes. Images of the United Nations. Now, I don't know this for certain, but those Hebrew Israelites that have sold their souls to darkness are in the back rooms here. See, these are the front runners. These are just shadow casters here, man. These are just regurgitating biological robots being controlled by entities behind the scenes. Something more powerful than what you can understand. A people that you do not know will eat what your hand and labor produce. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that. The Lord will afflict your knees and legs with painful boils that cannot be cursed, spreading from the soles of your feet to the tops of your head. The Lord will drive you and the king you set over you to a nation unknown to you or your ancestors. There you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, not spirit, gods of wood and stone. You will become a thing of horror, a byword, a byproduct, a bywaste, an object of ridicule among all the people where the Lord will drive you. Well, you can clearly see that you're still underneath of these curses today. Okay, you have been around Israel for 7,000 years. So has this torch been passed back and forth a couple of times between the Gentile and Israel? Just a question. You will sow much seed in the field, but you will harvest little because locusts will devour it. Locusts. Look. Troops, this here are your locusts. They're metaphors, folks. These are your troops of animals. They're also known as flights of locusts. Hear what I teach you. These are the evil of the world. Your military. And you guys worship them. You guys are, hoorah, America's the greatest country in the face of the earth. We'll kick everybody's ass. We got the most powerful nation on the face of the earth. We got 300 million Americans that carry a rifle. Come on over to our country, see what you can do. It ain't going to be like that, folks. It's just going to be about fucking 2,000 bombs, nuclear bombs dropped on America. You know, about 50 bombs for each major city in the United States is the way it's going to happen. Okay? You guys are all talking about glory and how proud you are. You're not going to get away with it. It's your turn, man. Okay? Swarms of locusts will take over all your trees and your crops and your land. Swarms of your enemy. The foreigner who resides among you will rise above you higher and higher, but you will sink lower and lower. They will lend to you, but you will not lend to them. They will be the head, but you will be the tail. So what do we got going on here? Duality. He's telling you, follow his laws, his commands that he gives you this day, and you will be underneath of his blessings. But if you don't follow it, then you're going to be underneath of these curses. All these curses will come upon you. They will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the Lord your God and observe the commands and decrees he gave you. They will be a sign and a wonder to you and your descendants forever, because you did not serve the Lord your God joyfully and gladly in the time of your prosperity. Therefore, in hunger and thirst, in nakedness and dire poverty, you will serve the enemy the Lord sins against you. He will put an iron yoke on your neck until he has destroyed you. Well, just because you don't have the iron yoke around your neck anymore doesn't mean that there's not an iron yoke around all of our necks today. We are all slaves to this world. Both white, black, Asians were all slaves to the slave masters, to the corruption, to the government. You understand? The governments worldwide, the United Nations equally, are all evil pieces of shit. The sooner you wake up to that and stop voting for these parasites, the faster it'll come to reality that you've been worshiping mankind, and mankind are the demons. They are idols. All mankind are idols. They are images. Images are idols. And okay, the Lord will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand, a fierce-looking nation without respect for the old, or pity for the young. They will devour the young of your livestock and the crops of your land until you are destroyed. They will leave you no grain, no wine or olive oil, nor any calves of your herds or lambs of your flocks until you are ruined. They will lay siege to all the cities throughout the land until the high fortified walls in which you trust fall down. They will besiege all the cities throughout the land the Lord your God is giving you. Because of the suffering your enemy will inflict on you during the siege, you will eat the fruits of the womb. That sounds disgusting. The flesh of the sons and daughters of the Lord your God is giving you. So Israel's going to eat the flesh of the womb, the fruits of the womb. That's disgusting. You know, and this is why I love reading this whole entire Bible, because when I see stuff like this, that's a flesh eater, folks. That would turn you into a vampire. Why would your creator want you eating flesh? I don't know about some of these parables, man. Those are kind of washy, man. Even the most gentle and sensitive man among you will have no compassion on his own brother or the wife he loves or his surviving children, and he will not give to one of them any of the flesh of his children that he is eating. Wow. It will be all he has left because of the suffering your enemy will inflict on you during the siege of all your cities. The most gentle and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive to gentle that she would not venture to touch the ground with the sole of her foot, will begrudge the husband she loves and her own sons or daughters, the afterbirth from her womb and the children she bears, for in her dire need she intends to eat them secretly because of the suffering your enemy will inflict on you during the siege of your cities. This is horrifying. If you do not carefully follow all the words of this law which are written in this book, and do not revere this glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God, the Lord will send fearful plagues on you and your descendants, harsh and prolonged disasters, and severe and lingering illnesses. He will bring on you all the diseases of Egypt that you dreaded, and they will cling to you. The Lord will also bring on you every kind of sickness and disaster not recorded in this book of the law until you are destroyed. You who were as numerous as the stars in the sky will be left but a few in number, because you did not obey the Lord your God. Just as it pleased the Lord to make you prosper and increase in number, so it will please him to ruin and destroy you. You will be uprooted from the land that you are entering to possess. So what does this say to me, man? This is exactly why the Creator has the word eat in it, because you don't follow these commands of the Spirit that used mankind to write these laws and give us this text, these laws to follow, at least his children Israel to follow, then you're going to cling to that fire real good, and the skin is going to melt off your bones, as it says in the Bible. Then the Lord will scatter you among all nations. Aren't you still to this day scattered among all the nations, from one end of the earth to the other? You are Israel. You're scattered. So it's clearly we're going through this loop, man. We live in a loop that's going over and over and over, trapped, our souls trapped in these flesh suits. As long as Israel's trapped in these flesh suits and they're serving other gods, then you're going to pay. Your skin is going to fry. You're going to burn just like the rest of us. Okay, there you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your ancestors have known. Among those nations you will find no repose, no resting place for the sole of your foot. There the Lord will give you an anxious mind, eyes weary with longing, and a despairing heart. You will live in constant suspense, filled with dread both night and day, never sure of your life. How horrifying. How many of you children have lived just this life? Right? God is beating you down and you still refuse to listen to the commandments that have been written into this Bible. In the morning you will say, if only it were evening, and in the evening, if only it were morning, because of the terror that will fill your hearts and the sights that your eyes will see. The Lord will send you back in ships to Egypt on a journey I said you should never make again. There you will offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you. Yeah, that's a pretty harsh chapter right there. It was kind of long, and we're getting through this Bible slowly, but we are getting through it. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, man. May you find blessings. May you turn back. May you repent. May you have a contrite heart, man. May you submit that your body is nothing but a cell. Okay, a cell is a jail. Your soul has been encapsulated, captured, and trapped inside of a cell. Your cells, your flesh cell. It's time to wake up to the truth. This is White Raptor News Ministries.